Coming to you from a studio somewhere out there. It's Enough Already Radio with Fingers Malloy and Tracy O'Connor.
Good morning and welcome to another Enough Already. My name is Fingers Malloy. Good morning, Tracy.
Good morning.
She's Tracy O'Connor. I'm back from a place where dreams come true, Tracy.
Did all of your dreams come true?
We're talking about Disney World, and if my dream was to have $3,000 siphoned from my wallet, then yes, all of my dreams came true.
That's funny. I didn't see that on your wish list or vision board.
But, you know, it was for the children. Mm-hmm. The things we do for our kids, Tracy. So that's all that matters, is that their dreams came true.
And did they have a good time?
Yes, they did. It was a wonderful time. But we have a lot to talk about this week, and I think we need to start off with the Otto Warmbier story. We talked a little bit about it last week when he was released, and unfortunately he passed away. Now, when we talked about it last week, I said I don't understand putting yourself in this situation. You know, I don't know why anyone would go to North Korea unless you're Dennis Rodman. Or, you know, we talked about the story a few years ago where some Americans went mountain climbing near the Iraq-Iran border. I don't know why you would do that, but the left hit social media when he was first arrested and went through whatever kind of kangaroo court trial he went through in North Korea and sentenced to 15 years of hard labor. There were folks on the left that went crazy and said, well, you know, he had it coming. His white frat boy privilege did not extend to Asia. And in North Korea, you have a few stories, Tracy. Particularly one from Mediaite we should probably discuss about the reaction to Otto Warmbier's arrest back then, anyway.
Yeah, there were a slew of what are called hot takes,
yes,
which are immediate reaction pieces, but unshockingly to anybody who follows the left, they are all, you know, are on pretty much the same script. So this Mediaite piece has headlines from several different outlets. So Salon's headline at the time was, "This might be America's biggest idiot frat boy. Meet the UVA student who thought he could pull a prank in North Korea." Huffington Post had, "North Korea proves your white privilege is not universal." Bustle, "Why do people blame Otto Warmbier for his North Korea sentence? Privilege can sometimes come at a price." And finally, The Nightly Show with Larry Wilmore, they called their segment "Straight Out of Papayang." Papayang, how do we say that one?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
We'll
frat boy arrested.
Yeah.
Papayang.
Poppycock.
Just as exactly. Frat boy arrested in North Korea. And in the segment, which is Comedy Central seems to have pulled now, he excoriated him about his frat boy privilege.
It's just tough for me to have much sympathy for this guy and his crocodile tears because he allegedly stole this North Korean hotel banner as an initiation prank for University of Virginia's secretive Z Society.
Okay.
He's part of a secret society.
Do we have any word on what the Z Society is, by the way?
No.
On a side note? No.
No.
I love how so many on the left just accepted the North Koreans' version of this story.
Why wouldn't you believe them?
They seem like nice folks, right? They wouldn't mistreat anyone.
They don't have concentration camps because they don't use that phrase.
But it's just a given. Well, North Korea must be telling the truth.
Well, even if they were, so what?
Right.
They're celebrating that this guy has been sent to a hard labor camp, Reed concentration camp, because he had it coming to him.
15 years.
I don't even care if it's 15 days.
Right.
That's gross. They're celebrating him being thrown into a concentration camp. They find it funny. that just shows you that they have absolutely zero compassion, regardless of what they say.
Oh, no, they care about people, Tracy.
Yeah. Certain people. Not ones that are members of the secret Z Society.
Obviously, some sort of secret Nazi group.
Clearly.
So
there's probably a small A in front of that, so it's anti-Zionist.
So the North Koreans, apparently, threw this guy in some sort of hard labor concentration camp, beat the hell out of him.
Potentially.
And allegedly, he fell into a coma slightly after his sentencing, from what I've read. And the president was in the Oval Office and hinted that if he would have been president back then, Otto Warmbier would have been returned to the United States very quickly.
It's a total disgrace what happened to Otto. That should never, ever be allowed to happen. And frankly, if he were brought home sooner, I think the result would have been a lot different. He should have been brought home that same day. The result would have been a lot different. But what happened to Otto is a disgrace. And I spoke with his family. His family is incredible, what they've gone through. But he should have been brought home a long time ago. Thank you all very much.
That clip was courtesy of The Blaze. Now, Tracy, in that Blaze piece, it's revealed that Otto Warmbier's family was told by the Obama administration to lay low.
Take a low profile.
Which
is a direct quote that Gary, who is Otto's father, gave in a statement that they put out, or during a press conference, excuse me.
Yes, and of course the Obama folks didn't like these comments made by President Trump, and Obama spokesman Ned Price came out with a statement which is really insulting to anyone who had heard it or read it. During the course of the Obama administration, we had no higher priority than securing the release of Americans detained overseas. I'm just going to stop right there. Do you believe that for 1 second?
No.
That was their highest priority?
Yeah. Right.
Really?
Well, I mean, when it comes to Bo Bergdahl, perhaps.
Right. But
remember, those parents were told to take a low profile.
Right. I mean, are we to believe that they were told to take a low profile because anything that they would say would harm the negotiations between the Obama administration and North Korea? Is that what we're supposed to believe? And not that the Obama administration would be embarrassed if this family kept getting in front of the camera day in, day out, and their son, their brother, their sister, or their brother was not released? I mean, come on. This was all about not embarrassing the Obama administration. It had nothing to do with harming any kind of negotiations between the United States and North Korea for Warmbier's release.
Right, but it was their top priority. It's just unbelievable.
So unfortunately, Otto Warmbier passed away. And now there's speculation out there as to how the United States will react. I don't know. What do you do? Is there some sort of increased sanctions on North Korea? I mean, what can they do at this point? There's been talk of a quarantine like we did to the Cubans and during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah, and shutting down American travel to there, as if that would affect more than 15 people.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm 45 years old. I have not encountered one person on this earth that has said to me, boy, I sure would love to go visit North Korea.
I'd kind of like to go.
Really?
Yeah, well, yeah. I wouldn't for these reasons.
What is it about North Korea that would make you want to go there?
It's almost like visiting an alien planet. You know, it's so far removed from what we consider normal, their normal.
Yeah.
That I just think it would be fascinating to be chucked into that. And obviously you're going to see, you know, a full representation. But that in and of itself is interesting, that everybody participates in the charade. So it's like Disney World. Concentration camps.
I don't see it. I don't even want to visit South Korea.
Oh, why not?
I don't know. You got to get on a plane.
Oh, okay. That's what it is.
It seems like a lot of work.
So if North Korea was where Canada was, maybe you'd be more tempted if you could just rent a car and drive.
No, I don't think so, because I really don't want to go to Canada either.
Oh, okay. Well, I was talking about proximity.
I understand that.
Yeah. But I am interested in what exactly happened to Otto. And the parents are not going to do an autopsy.
What?
Yeah, they're refusing to do an autopsy. So he had a serious brain injury, it sounds like, or a catastrophic brain injury. I'm reading from Business Insider. So they say Warmbier's parents were told that their son went into a coma soon after his sentencing, and doctors' analysis suggested that was true. And they estimated a catastrophic brain injury most likely came before April 2016. So the doctor said his loss of brain tissue was most likely caused by an extended period of oxygen deprivation. So this pattern of brain injury is usually seen as a result of a cardiopulmonary arrest where the blood supply to the brain is inadequate for a period of time, resulting in the death of brain tissue. So that sounds like a heart attack.
So they kind of know what happened without going through the whole process of an autopsy.
Potentially.
But I think I would want to know.
I would too. But it's pretty invasive, and maybe they've suffered enough and they just want to be done with it. I'm happy for them that he was able to come home. Because I can't imagine that they would have ever been able to recover his body if he had died in North Korea.
Probably
and they probably would have lied about it for decades.
Well, so I guess it's pretty safe to say that if you want to go to North Korea, you better do it now.
Yes. Take pictures. Oh, no, they don't allow that.
And good luck to you while you're there.
Yeah, don't touch anything.
Well, moving on to other news. There's speculation that a special counsel may be named to probe the Obama administration's obstruction of justice. Now, this is interesting.
Yes.
You have the piece in front of you from the New York Post.
I do. This is an opinion piece by Paul Sperry, entitled "Up Next: A Special Counsel to Probe Team Obama's Obstruction of Justice." So Sperry begins by using fired FBI Director James Comey to attack the new Republican administration. Democrats have opened up a legal can of worms for the Obama administration. Under sworn questioning, Comey has veered off the topic of President Trump and Russia and revealed several damning incidents in which his predecessor's administration politically interfered in the Hillary Clinton email investigation. And now the Senate will investigate Team Obama for obstruction of justice. So this is the Senate Judiciary Committee announced last week that they're going to hold hearings to, quote, examine then Attorney General Loretta Lynch's involvement in the Clinton email server investigations. So this could get dicey. So Comey had said that Lynch ordered him to mislead the public, call it a matter, not an investigation.
Right.
And she refused to recuse herself from the case after Comey went to her and said, "What were you doing on that plane with Bill Clinton?" So, and then there's a communication that was intercepted by the FBI between, I believe, Loretta Lynch and Debbie Wasserman Schultz, where Wasserman Schultz was assured by Lynch that the matter would not go too far. And that would be the Clinton email investigation matter. So she could be subpoenaed as well. That's Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Refresh my memory.
So my thing
Tracy.
is, yes.
Loretta Lynch, when this whole brouhaha happened regarding Loretta Lynch and Bill Clinton on the tarmac, she came out and she said, I will rely on the FBI and their recommendation.
Right.
Whether we proceed with any kind of investigation, charges, whatever, into the email matter?
Correct.
Now, having said that, if she went to Comey and was able to convince him to use DNC lingo to describe this investigation, and he went along with it, how are we supposed to believe at that point that Comey was completely independent?
We're not. There's no
Ridiculous.
possible way to believe that. No.
So my question is, will Republicans have the guts to push for special counsel?
It's hard to say. It'll depend, I guess, on how this hearing goes.
Well, I have to believe that she takes the fifth.
Yes, I would think so too. I think they will all take the fifth.
So
And if they do that, maybe they do have the guts then to push it forward.
the thing I've been saying for years is I want Republicans to fight like Democrats. And in this situation, if the situation were reversed, there would be a special counsel.
Mm-hmm.
Democrats would demand it.
Well, look, they've already effectively gotten a special counsel to investigate the Russia stuff.
Right.
And they don't even have any power in any branch at the moment.
They're going to have to fight against Democrats and their allies in the mainstream media who will say, this is old news.
Right.
We've already talked about this.
As Sperry points out in this article, Democrats will have a hard time dismissing the inquiry as partisan because Dianne Feinstein is on the record saying Lynch's suspicious actions are a legitimate avenue of inquiry.
It'll be interesting to see how she spins that comment.
You never know. I mean, maybe people are sick of the Clintons and they feel like there's no more chips to be cashed in with that clan. So why bother protecting them anymore?
Well, there is a certain segment of Trump supporters that still are chanting, lock her up. Lock her
yes,
up.
that would be one of them. Well, I don't know how you ever go about cleaning up the government if we want to keep it, you know, the way that it's constituted right now and pretend that it works. If you allow this kind of stuff to go on, somebody has to put their foot down at some point and just say, no, none of this. This is all the stuff that they were up to. And then, you know, this doesn't even touch really the Obama administration scandals.
No.
The only one implicated so far in any of this is Lynch.
How high does it go?
Well, you have to assume that it goes all the way to the top. Why wouldn't it? Unless they keep everything so compartmentalized and they can all read each other's minds, which, you know, I think would probably not be that difficult since they're all pretty much hell-bent on the same ends. So it is possible that Obama didn't order any of this. They just all instinctually knew.
It's not unreasonable to believe that she acted alone.
Mm-hmm.
Just because this is the leftist mentality.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like Lois Lerner at the IRS.
Right.
Do I believe that there was a direct order that came from the White House to squash the applications of right-wing nonprofit organizations? No. It wasn't necessary. Everybody on their team understands the game. And they're in it to win it. So,
and that's one of the reasons I have a problem with our side, or people on the right. I get tired of hearing we're better than that. Okay, you know who says that? Losers. That's who says that. You can keep trying to pull the we're better than that game. Oh, we can't go there. We can't play the games that the left plays. Well, okay, then you're going to keep losing.
Yeah. No, and this is a legitimate line of inquiry as far as I'm concerned. That tarmac meeting was just stunning. That was so brazen.
And again, refresh my memory. The only reason why we know about that, there was some local reporter.
Correct.
On the scene.
Yep.
That happened to witness it. Otherwise, we probably never would have heard of it.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. And you have to wonder what other meetings took place like that, clandestine. And there is a possibility that her plane was wired with recording equipment. So, if that's the case, that will be subpoenaed. And, Comey and his note-taking. If there's anything with those, that'll be subpoenaed.
I'm sure their version of the story will be confirmed. They were just talking about grandkids, Tracy.
Yes, of course. And I believe Loretta Lynch has no grandchildren.
Well, getting into the messy details there. But, I mean, anyone who knows the Clintons, anyone who's been around to follow Bill and Hillary Clinton the past few decades, there's no way you could possibly believe that this meeting took place and the investigation didn't come up.
Oh, yeah. I would agree with that, but I just flash back to that book, Shattered, where they kind of believe that the Clintons never thought that the email investigation was a big deal. So those authors, Allen and Parnes, basically say that it's entirely possible that Bill didn't talk about that with her because it wouldn't have even been on his mind.
Please.
These people are such incredible liars that they've convinced everybody around them that they're not interested. They're not worried.
Oh, I believe at the beginning, when the news first broke about the server, that they thought it was a nothing burger. I know you love that. Nothing burger.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But clearly at this point, when it got to the point where, I don't know how many months we were still talking about the story.
This was over a year, yeah.
Yeah. And they met on the tarmac, the idea that, this isn't a big story.
Right.
Bill Clinton wouldn't talk to her about that. It's ridiculous.
No, at that point, everybody except Hillary had already been in to be interviewed, I would imagine. They'd cut all those immunity deals.
But unfortunately, we don't have any notes from that meeting because Comey didn't take any.
Right. Well, he wasn't there. As far as we know.
Yeah. How do we know that for sure?
We don't.
No recording. No note-taking. I'm sure if you or I were brought in for some sort of FBI investigation, they wouldn't take any notes.
Oh, right. Or video it.
Right.
Or record it. Audio. No, that's absurd too. And I find it very difficult to believe that they didn't do it surreptitiously. And old Comey's sitting on those tapes right now.
Right. And with that, we have to take a break. We'll be back with more of Enough Already on Wham 1600 AM right after this.
The best place for news, fake news, commentary, and fake commentary is EnoughAlready.us. Hey, you're on Twitter. I saw that tweet, man. So is Fingers and Tracy, too. Follow us. Follow Fingers at Fingers Malloy. Follow Tracy at Tracy L. Connors. And me, I don't have a handle on Twitter. Oh, all right. Well, follow those guys. When do I get I'm just the announcer guy. Yeah. It's Enough Already Radio with Fingers Malloy and Tracy O'Connors.
Welcome back to Enough Already. Remember, you can check us out at enoughlalready.us. That's where you will find the podcast for The Wham Show, in case you missed any of today's broadcast. Or we also put out another podcast, the Enough Already explicit version. We swear in that one, Tracy.
Yeah, it's not safe for work.
Right. But you can find that at enoughlalready.us. Tracy, I have a story for you.
Oh, yeah?
My way home from the Disney trip, decided to take an extra day and stop at a hotel casino in southern Indiana.
Okay. What do the kiddies do when you go to the casino?
Well, they're old enough now to where they can stay in the room.
Mm-hmm.
So, took them swimming in the morning. And then at night, ordered room service. And I took off and went to the casino. And yeah, and they were living like queens.
Mm-hmm.
Pints of ice cream, room service pizza. Fantastic life for them that day. So I go to the casino, and when I have a couple of drinks at the casino, I don't like to play blackjack.
Okay.
So I play video poker.
Mm-hmm.
And I put a $10 bill in a video poker machine. And I usually play quarter poker, which is $1.25 a hand. Well, I got bonus cash from the casino, $10 bonus cash. So there was $20 in the machine, and I thought, oh, what the heck? I'll put my bet up to 50 cents. So it's a $2.50 bet per hand. I hit a royal flush, which is $2,000.
Wow.
So I'm very excited.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a few drinks in me.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I did that was dumb. And I really should be slapped upside the head, especially by a libertarian. They come over. I believe the limit is $1,199.
Mm-hmm.
If you win $1,199 and below, you do not have to immediately declare that you won that jackpot.
Okay.
To the feds and to the state. Well, I won $2,000. So casino personnel came over and said, okay, listen, here's the deal. Indiana state law dictates that I have to take state taxes out immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Which ended up being 60 some odd bucks.
That's not bad.
No. But then he said, you have a choice. You can pay your federal taxes now and have them withheld, or worry about it later. I paid them right away.
Okay. Oh, I would have done the same thing.
You would have?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes me feel better.
Potentially, it just saves paperwork.
Well, you get the paperwork either way.
Right. No, but I mean, it saves you from having to do stuff at the end of the year, I would imagine. But I guess you're saying either way, they would have given you the paperwork to file.
Right. And he looked surprised and walked off and then came back. And out of the $2,000 jackpot, I got to keep $1,430.
Wow.
So as he's paying me out, I said, okay, what do people usually do when it comes to the federal taxes on a jackpot this size? And he says, oh, people usually don't pay it. Mm-hmm. I was surprised that you said take the federal taxes out. And then the person next to him could see the look on my face. It said, oh, no, but you made the right decision.
They weren't like, do you want to change your mind?
Well, they couldn't at that point. They had already did whatever they had to do in their computer, and they had whatever tax form that I needed in their hands along with my cash.
Mm-hmm.
But I just willingly gave the feds $500 of my money, and you know, with two kids and everything, I'm going to get a lot of that money back.
Probably, yeah.
So I gave them an interest-free loan, Tracy.
That's very nice of you.
And here's the funny thing. After it happened, I'm walking around that casino, and I should be happy that I won $1,400. It was like I lost $500. Walking around so ticked off at myself that I gave the feds $500. And I didn't know this either. You could call casinos that you've gambled at and ask for a win-loss statement. And they'll send it to you. So I go to casinos all the time. I probably could have claimed that I, over the course of this year, have lost not $2,000, but at least maybe $800 to $1,000.
Wow. Jeez.
So see, I thought for sure you were going to tear into me.
No, I understand doing that.
I had like 3 or 4 jacks in me at the time.
Yeah, no, it makes sense to me. You'll get it back later.
Ugh.
Just get it over with. Because I'm not sure what you would have had to have done if you would have. They could have nailed you and said, "Oh, you should have paid this in a quarterly estimate because it's additional income that's not going through payroll."
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, it's better off just to do it right there, and then you can feel the pain of taxation immediately.
So all you degenerate gamblers out there, tweet me at @FingersMalloy. Let me know if you think I made the right decision or if I screwed up.
Well, and what can you do with this win-loss thing? Can you submit that to the government and just say, I'm still behind?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, you better get on that.
I mean, I could still do that,
Yeah.
but still. Now I got to think of all the casinos I've been to over the years. Or over this year, not the years, but...
Yes, but how do they keep track of you if you're just playing the touch screen?
You have a
game?
slot club card that keeps track of your winnings
Oh,
and
okay.
losings.
Well, I was going to ask, do you have slot club cards all over the country?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
I don't
Michigan.
understand the allure of the slots.
Well, you also use that card for blackjack, too.
Right. I just don't understand the allure of gambling, I guess.
Oh, it's fun.
No, it's not. If you're losing money, it's not fun.
I just won $2,000, even though I lost $500. And
Right. Is that the biggest you've ever won?
yes,
Okay.
I never
And
played.
how many years?
Oh boy, 20.
Okay.
I've won quite a few $1,000 jackpots over the years because I play video poker when I play on the slots, and I only play quarter poker, and the max payout on a quarter video poker machine is a royal flush, which is $1,000. I've probably
Okay.
gotten maybe 6 royal flushes over the years, 7.
Wow.
So I got one last year in Vegas, but it was on nickels. It's only $200.
What was this?
Yeah, Freedom Fest.
Yeah.
And the kick in the butt there was I was playing quarters on that machine, and I switched to nickels because I had been losing. And it was my first hour there, and that's when the royal flush popped up. But no Vegas this year, no Freedom Fest for me.
No.
Well, Tracy, so there's a story in Reason about this family. They went swimming.
They went to the pool, yes.
They went swimming in Omaha, Nebraska. A woman was taking her niece out of an SUV. And for some reason, we have to know that it was an SUV because all SUVs are evil. After this pool outing, and apparently there were high winds in Nebraska at the time, which should shock no one who has ever been in Nebraska. And as this woman was gathering her things, the door slammed shut, and this child who was around 2 years old was trapped in the car, locked in. They had no way to get to this kid.
Yes, because the keys were locked inside the car with the child.
Right. So, after trying to get the child out, the coat, trying to unlock the door with a coat hanger, They called 911.
As you would do.
The police get to the scene. They break the window. I mean, the girl in the car had been in there for about 15 minutes. It was a 90-plus degree day. So they got the child out, and then the cops ticketed the mom on suspicion of child abuse and by neglect. This, to me, is unbelievable. To me, Tracy, neglect would have been, oh, my niece, my daughter is locked in the car. Let's go inside for a while. I'm kind of hungry.
Yeah, let's go swim. It's hot.
Yeah, she'll be okay. Immediately, they tried to get the child out, and then they called 911.
Mm-hmm.
These kind of accidents happen all the time when you're a parent. The police cited her on suspicion of child abuse.
And then when they were pressed on it, they said it was not an overreaction to do that.
So now most likely Child Protective Services is going to get involved.
Oh, without a doubt.
Which is an absolute nightmare for any parent. We've documented over the years how Child Protective Services is they do some good, obviously, but there are too many instances where they go too far in some cases, or they drop the ball and don't check in on kids for years, and the kids are continued to be abused. But I don't know how anyone could read this story from Reason and say to themselves, well, this was completely warranted. Clearly, this child is being neglected and abused. You ever had the wind blow your car door shut, Tracy?
No, but I've had it happen on a hill with keys in the car when the car was running.
What did you end up doing?
Well, it was in my driveway, so I just went inside and got another set of keys.
The money quote of the piece. At the end, it said, to add insult to injury, Lieutenant Tierney of the police force in wherever this was, Omaha, is also quoted as reminding people that in a situation like this one, don't be afraid to call 911 for help.
Yeah, sure, we'll punish you for doing so. But let us help you, please.
Basically, Omaha police are saying you're on your own.
Yeah.
Because there's no way in hell anyone knowing this story is ever going to call 911 in a situation like this in Omaha. Ever.
No, they'll just break the window themselves.
Right.
And it sounds like they were at their house when this happened. They had returned from the pool. So in their own driveway, whatever. Surely they had access to something that could break the window. But it's crazy to me that this happened in Omaha, Nebraska. It wouldn't surprise either one of us if this happened in a deep blue state.
Right.
Where they've totally gone nanny state mentality and everybody's super overprotective. But Omaha? It's scary.
I just don't know how a police officer who, I don't know what goes down in Omaha, but I'm guessing even in Omaha, a police officer that's been on a beat for a while has seen some things, man.
Yeah.
Has seen some things. To go to this home, see that you have loving, caring family doing everything that they can to get this child out finds it necessary to cite them for child abuse and get CPS involved.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how traumatic would it be for a 2-year-old? It's bad enough that you're locked in the car,
mm-hmm.
and it's very hot, and you see your family outside doing everything they can to try to get you out, probably crying.
Oh, yeah.
To have the police show up and break the window had to scare the living crap out of this girl. But then if the child, well, apparently the child was taken to the hospital,
mm-hmm.
and is okay. But can you imagine if the child were old enough to see the police telling his mother or her mother that going to be cited for child abuse? It's madness. This is really scary stuff if you're a parent. Or if you're not a parent, it should be scary too.
Mm-hmm.
But well done you, Omaha Police Department.
Don't be afraid to call 911 for help, though.
There was a piece in the Chicago Tribune, Tracy,
mm-hmm.
that I found interesting. You know, Illinois is in a deep financial mess.
No.
As shocking as that sounds. And there has been talk in the last couple of weeks that Illinois may have to file for bankruptcy.
Okay.
So there's an opinion piece in Chicago because they've been in a financial mess for some time. They haven't had a budget in years. Republicans and Democrats can't agree on how to solve this financial problem. Democrats just want to keep raising taxes without doing anything to Illinois' bloated pension system. Moody Investor Service says taxpayers are on the hook for $251 billion in unfunded public union pension liabilities in Illinois. $251 billion. At some point, you got to realize you can't keep kicking the can down the road. $251 billion on pensions. Tracy, we're in the wrong business.
We are. We should be public union workers. Public sector unions, baby.
So
what a great idea that was.
Yeah, right? So this piece is entertaining. The author, John Cass, suggests that they just split Illinois up.
Yeah, let it get devoured by the neighboring states. Disappear.
States. Right. Indiana gets a chunk. Wisconsin gets Chicago. But my question is, who the hell would want it?
Yeah, that's the problem. It's not as if this debt just magically disappears then. Or, I mean, it could, but I don't see the public sector union workers taking that news very well.
Right.
Because they've got $251 billion coming to them.
I get that you don't want to deliver bad news to people who are expecting a pension.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, that pension's going to go away completely if something isn't done.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather have 50 cents on the dollar than nothing.
How about 10 cents on the dollar?
That's what it may come to.
Well, yeah.
But they have to
if they're already bankrupt,
right.
They can't come up with 125 billion. So
I would love to know what the state budget is for Illinois now. But I bet it's a fraction.
Well, they don't have one, right?
Well, you're right. The last Illinois budget, which was a few years ago, I bet it's a heck of a lot less than $251 billion.
I would guess, yeah.
I live in Indiana, and we've had businesses flee from Illinois to Indiana because it's more business friendly. Forget the residents who are fleeing. Property taxes in Illinois are ridiculous. And the Democrats, their only solution to this mess is to keep raising taxes.
Of course. And then they chase out rich people.
Right. My concern with that is all these people who are fleeing Illinois because of the high taxes, moving to Indiana and then voting for the same kind of politicians that made taxes too high in Illinois to begin with.
Which will happen. Without a doubt. They don't connect the two. At all.
How could you not? It's amazing to me.
Well, maybe they'll try to do pension reform, which actually just passed in Pennsylvania. Which is unbelievable.
Was it real pension reform?
Well, they're going to have the new employees are going to go into a 401k.
Well, and you're seeing that
more and more. But the pension deficit, yeah, of course. So new hires will have a bunch of different options, but they're going to push the 401k.
And let's face it, that they're better off that way than relying on a pension that can go away. I've got friends in the auto industry that have seen their pensions go away.
Oof. That's rough.
Talk to a salaried Delphi worker in Michigan. And that was a big story during the auto bailout. Was Delphi at one point was a part of General Motors. It was their parts division. They spun it off. During the bailout, the union pension fund was taken care of, but salaried individuals, their pension, not so much. But if you were relying on yourself in a 401k, you'd be much better off. We're out of time. Tracy, where can everyone find the Enough Already podcast?
You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, and SoundCloud. If you forget those, you can find everything Enough Already at enoughlalready.us.
That's it for us this week. Thanks for listening. Again, like Tracy said, check us out at enoughlalready.us for this show on Wham, 1600 AM in Ann Arbor, and our other podcasts. We'll be back next week with an all-new Enough Already.
Enough Already Radio is on Facebook. Check out the fan page, facebook.com/Enough Already Podcast.